Welcome back to this special year-end double-header of Overdrive. We're at the MMSC racetrack here in Chennai for the jury round of the 2011 CNBC-TV18 Overdrive Awards. And now, let's take a closer look at the hatchbacks that are in contention for Car of the Year honors. Hatchbacks. You see them everywhere on Indian roads. In fact, a quick look through the Overdrive Buyer's Guide reveals that there are currently 25 hatchbacks on sale in India. So it's no surprise that we have 5 hatches in contention for Car of the Year. After wowing us at global motor shows for over a year, the Chevrolet Beat finally made its India debut in January. A striking and in-your-face little car, the Beat is full of creases and bulges and has some stylish interiors. It's been a big hit with young buyers.
They've again tried to do something completely different with the dashboard and some of the interiors in the car, and even looks-wise, it's, you know, the front end is something really sort of extraordinary compared to everything else in the market.
Decent mileage combined with competent handling and excellent pricing has seen the Beat find favor with both buyers and our jury. And more importantly, establish General Motors India as a manufacturer to be reckoned with. Another American manufacturer that desperately needed a winner in India was Ford. And the Figo has certainly become a roaring success with more than 60,000 cars sold since it launched in January.
For the Indian conditions and the middle class population, both as an entry car as well as a second car for a well-to-do family, I think this car is an excellent car.
Now, while the Figo is not as eye-catching as some of its competitors, its rugged good looks and value for money proposition has certainly caught the fancy of Indian car buyers.
For the Figo, really, you've got to say excellent job by Ford. It's styled well, okay? It does look a bit like the Fusion, but it's not the Fusion. It's based on the old Fiesta platform, but because it's been in the country for so long, they managed to price it extremely well.
The Figo is available with a 1.2-litre petrol and 1.4-litre diesel engine, and though both power plants are competent performers, it's the Figo's ride quality and superb dynamics that got our jury excited.
Doesn't look the part, but definitely goes, and it's really nice. I really love this, the way the engineers have tuned the steering and the suspension. It's really good. It's very responsive, and it's got this whole progressive damping kind of a feeling. You know, when you're going a little slow, it's a little stiff to start with, but I think as you go faster, you can really attack corners and have fun in this small car. Even though the engine is not very powerful because we're just talking 1.2 liters, but I'm sure this is the car that I would want to buy.
It's not often that a manufacturer decides to completely revamp the second best-selling car in the country. But that's what Maruti chose to do with its tall boy, giving the Wagon R a new lease of life with updated styling, interiors and mechanicals.
Commuter spec, that car is still one of the favorite cars to buy in that lot. It still has all the right mechanicals. It's easy to drive in the city, and let's not forget that car is principally to get you from point A to point B within a city.
Power comes from Maruti's 998cc 3-cylinder K10B engine that produces 68 PS and a phenomenal overall mileage of 18.8 kilometers per litre. That, combined with its space and versatility, has ensured that the Wagon R remains the choice of the middle-class Indian family. All 3 of these hatches are also in contention for our Compact Car of the Year award, and here are the rest of the nominees. We move now to the premium end of the hatchback segment, and the first offering from a Japanese manufacturer keen to make a mark in the Indian auto market. No, it's not Honda or Toyota, it's Nissan, and the car we're talking about is the new Micra. The Micra sits on a big wheelbase, and viewed from any angle, the overwhelming impression is of size. The rest of the styling, well, let's just say you love it or hate it. But the Micra's USPs are innovative features like climate control and keyless entry, a first for its segment.
I think what is nice about the Micra immediately is that it feels like a bigger car than it is. It's part of how the lines of the styling work, but it makes the car look bigger, and that adds to your perception of value.
As a small car, fantastic. It's a nice compact car. It's pretty practical. The ergonomics inside are pretty good. The only low side is the seating in the car. I feel the seats are not as comfortable as some of the other small hatchbacks.
First launched with a 1.2-litre 76 PS petrol engine, the Micra is now available with the 1.5-litre diesel engine that does duty in the Mahindra Logan. In keeping with its premium positioning, the ride quality is plush, though the little Nissan is quite willing to blast around corners with minimal fuss.
I especially like the steering wheel, how light it is. I mean, probably you can just, in tight spots in metro cities, we have tight parking spots. It will really help to turn the wheel with one finger, maybe two fingers. So it's good for women in our country who need to, buy their first car. So they've done a good job. I'm impressed.
And now we have our second German contender for Car of the Year, Volkswagen's Polo. 2009's World Car of the Year made its much anticipated India debut this year, and even though it's a classically good looking hatchback, it's the Polo's German build quality which is making waves in the Indian market.
It's a very solid car. It's a small hatchback with a lot of safety. You feel very safe inside that car.
It is again a bulletproof brand, and the car is definitely bulletproof.
Like every other Indian hatchback, the Polo launched with two 1.2-litre engines thanks to Indian excise duty norms. And though the diesel power plant is very frugal, the petrol does seem to lack torque, especially when seen in relation to the Polo's superb chassis and dynamics.
The engine's low on response. I think it doesn't really have much of response in the low or the mid. I mean, until obviously you reach high, every engine would give you some sort of a response, but I'm sure they could have done a little better with the tuning, and overall I think the car is still one of the best, I'd say.
I think this is the hatchback that feels like a big car in many situations. We've been driving it on the highway and at speed. I think this is the most stable, secure feeling hatchback that I've driven in a while.
The Polo and Micra are also joined in the battle for Premium Hatchback of the Year honors by nominees from Fiat, Hyundai, Maruti and Tata Motors. Up next on the show, a pair of sedans that could change the face of their segments and some of the contenders for Performance Car of the Year.